What's up, guys? Welcome back to Drip and Farm for Property, where on this channel our vision is to empower the impoverished and help you find financial freedom through crypto assets. If you like that mission, you resonate with the vision, smash that subscribe button so you don't miss another video. And in this one, I just want to talk about some stuff that's been brewing in the community and kind of since the pause of the drip token. I'm sorry, not the drip token, the pause of the piggy bank and the animal farm and all that. But basically, there's some civil unrest, and it's always been that way. If you've been in drip long enough, or you go back and watch videos like I did of the community, there is definitely a difference between the OGs that have been around since the beginning of drip and went through this volatile time and seen it rise, right? So these people that joined anywhere in here, so from December to, remember it started in April, but let's just call it June, July, maybe is where it saw some stability. So anybody that rode this out and has seen these waves, these are the OGs. They've seen the downs, they've seen the ups, and then they've already made their money back tenfold. So they are what I heard Bartertown conglomerate called drip maxis, meaning they know the protocol works, they've seen their money, they've gotten the financial freedom, all that stuff. They're like YOLO, and they're in it to win it, you know, long term. Then you have this group that kind of came in here after the pumps. So there was in January, there was this big push for the Rev token sale, and a lot of people entered in here. You see that here with the analytics, from 12,000, let's call it 13,000 in December, to 2x that number in January. And the bulk of them came, and that's what created this upward trend all through January, right? So it literally peaked out at the end of January, January 26th. January 27th is where you have our first red candle for the most part since the 12th, 11th. So you have 15 straight days of massive price action, and all these people onboarded in that time, from $53 to $160. And we'll just say the bulk of them came in during that time. So this is January 26th. So there's only 5 days left in that time frame before it started this downward trend. So maybe 1,000 of this 29,000, maybe even 2,000 at most, probably came in at the last minute and started to see the downward trend. But since then, this is where I think the split, the divide actually happens, right? So let's just take 2,000 from there, plus 23,000 here, that's 25,000, plus as of today, 5,000 more. So you got 30,000 people that have gotten into the community and have seen nothing but downward price action, right? Now, granted, this is only 2.5 months, and you know, in crypto, that seems like 20 years, but when you're talking about people's money and emotions, and people always investing more than they can afford to lose, even though the not financial advice is to do the opposite. Everybody bets more than they can afford to lose. They put up more than they should be, so therefore they're even more emotionally invested. And that's nobody's fault, but you just gotta call a spade and realize that is the way that people behave. That's human psychology, right? So if you see an opportunity to quote unquote get rich quick, no matter how good or how if it's too good to be true, it's not true, right? But it doesn't matter. No matter how many times you tell people that, they're gonna always try to find that. Alchemists have been trying to turn lead into gold for years. So that being said, we can go ahead and say there's about 30,000 members that have gotten in since the end of this. And I'll even round it down a little bit, say 27,000. But the point being, that comes out to literally 30% of the community that is not as bullish as the OGs, right? So all these people, anytime a non-bullish new OG comes in, I'm not going to call them OGs, let's just say new dripper comes in, and they have questions. They're like, why is the price drip going down? Why this? Why that? All these 60,000 people just yell at them and scream, Futster, get the hell out of our community, kick them out. So if you're in the Telegram group, and depending on how you ask questions, you're just kind of kicked out, because these people have rode this out. So they're just personally tired of hearing it, right? It makes perfect sense. They've seen the absolute worst when drip was down here at $4. And now it got up to 160. So for them, this is old news and it makes no sense. And these days of $60, $55 is nowhere near the dark times that they experienced of $4. So you got to understand that. That makes perfect sense for them to be kind of thinking that these people are making a mountain out of a molehill. But remember, these people are new. So they came in at 160, 170, 150, 140, and all they've seen is downward price action. They've seen their investment get cut in half by a third, 60%, whatever the case may be. So, and with crypto being new, and with all the other projects that they may have come from and saw the rug pulls or the price tokens drop, and they thought this was going to be different, then they get in and it looks to them that it might be the same, then it's clear you would have this divide, right? And Bartertown Conglomerate mentioned this on his page here. He calls it Civil War, Drip Network Civil War addressing the stands. So he calls them stands because they were once fans and they became stan, basically kind of playing off of the Eminem song Stan. And in here, if you listen to this this video, he talks about some people that joined and they even joined under his team, and how they mentioned they brought a lot of people to his team, and that now all they do is flood the project. He's actually talking about this guy's channel, The Drip Farm. You probably are familiar with both of these because if you're following me, I'm a small fish. So I've got nothing to add to this. These guys both do a great job, in my opinion, covering both sides of the fence. Whether or not they use clickbait or however the course may be, that's just the nature of the algorithm. Don't get mad at the YouTubers such as myself who use clickbait or do whatever it is. That's the way YouTube rewards views and gets your video in front of people's eyeballs. So who gives a shit about clickbait? You look behind the scenes and see what content they're serving up. So Bartertown's issue with people like Jonathan on the Drip Farm is he said that the comments they make are FUD. And he gave one example. He's like jumping in the chat and saying, why is the price of Drip going down, versus jumping in the chat and saying, wow, Drip is on a discount, right? Same effect of the price action going in a negative trend, but the verbiage you use is how they describe FUD. And I totally understand that from a mindset development side. If you study psychology and growth mindset and empowerment and all that stuff like that, there is power in the words we choose to use. Like, oh my God, I'm so stupid, I'll never learn this. Or, oh my God, this is such a great opportunity for me to improve my skill set in an area that I'm not good at right now. Like, same thing, but you can decide how you choose to word it, and that will create different outcomes for you. That's been proven with science. I'm not going to debate that. That's not for this kind of video. So I get where Bartertown is coming from. However, here's the other side. Unfortunately, not everyone is familiar with that psychology and mindset. And again, you're adding in human emotions and money. Those two things, when you put that in, not everyone is going to have the most rational, objective conversation, especially when you add in the fact that, again, they invested more than they can afford to lose. So while that may not be the healthiest way to discuss something, it does need to be addressed because, as I mentioned, I was actually in the chat and shared this, if you do not address these members, right? So let's just look at Jonathan's page. And I'm not saying all of these members are that, but he just created his page a little over 30 days ago. So we can say he got in somewhere near the top. So he came in around, let's just say early January or whatever. Actually, he just made 30, so that would be like February 1st. Maybe January 26th. He might have got in right at the top, I believe. And he's built an amazing following in that 1 month time frame. So he's gotten over 10,000 subs. He put in $10,000 and he's grown his bag over 60K from people using his referral link, right? So if anyone should be bullish, it would be him because he's gotten so many people to join him and has made a shit ton of money. It's all locked in the faucet, of course, off of this. But what he's actually speaking on, other people obviously resonate because the views he gets reflect other people sharing that sentiment, or else he wouldn't get views. And then when you click on any of these, let's just look at the fix. There was one where he's talking to, Forex. Let's just see. I'm not going to play it, but I want to see a number of comments that are in here. You can watch this on your own, but should tell you the kind of interaction that he has on his community. So it's got 11,000 views and 1.2K likes. I don't see the dislikes. Almost 1,000 comments. So be that as it may, if that's the case, this guy is getting 10% of his community that agrees with his viewpoint, like enough to actually thumb up the video, and then another 10%, or of that 10%, also write a comment on it. Granted, some of those comments are him replying to it, so you got to take that with a grain of salt. But the point I'm getting at is that this has to be addressed because there are people on both sides of the fence. As I mentioned here, there's 30% of the community that has seen nothing but downward price action. Now, what their mentality is, they're like, great, it's going lower, I can buy more, or holy shit, I lost the farm, I'm gonna lose my job. I don't know what they're thinking. All I can tell you is that they got in somewhere around here and they're down here. And that's reflected by this number here. So I'm not making this up. Again, this isn't FUD. But depending on how you look at it, you might say that this is, pointing out the negative or whatever the case may be. But what I'm getting at is these people have a voice and they need to be heard. And if we want to see Drip continue to grow, if these people are not addressed, let's just say it's 30,000 of them. All it takes is them telling a few friends, do not get into this project. And then we all know bad news spreads faster than good news. So these people will quickly outweigh these people, because in order for Drip to continue growing, the new partnerships and all this stuff is new investors. And what do new investors come and look at? Well, they're going to go straight to YouTube. And if you've never heard of anything, the way you get your research done on YouTube, most people go, they do a search, and let's just see what comes up. I haven't even done this. Let's see, Drip community I know is one of the highest search terms. Let's see what video comes up first. So you got this one, and boom, there's Jonathan. So if you're a brand new YouTuber or brand new to Drip, you are going to pick the one with the most views. That's just the way you filter information. So even though Bartertown has been around a long time and he's a Drip OG or Drip Maxi, his video may not show up and people may not get the growth mindset understanding of a Drip OG or Drip Maxi. They may get Jonathan and be like, this guy is someone I can resonate with. He's speaking the truth. He's transparent. He's open. I see his face. You don't see Ray's face, right? So these are things that new people look at. Do you need to have your face in the video? I don't know. There's some people that say no, some people say yes. The point is that there are people on both sides, and that will dictate what videos they decide to watch. So if they gravitate towards this, then that's more people going towards a side of the fence that some, specifically Bartertown conglomerate, might be viewing as halfway drippers. And like I mentioned in the chat earlier today, if these people are not addressed and you just say they're douchebags or they're fudding or they need to just shut up and grow up, they're whatever, there's a bunch of negative comments about this because I brought this topic up, but it still wasn't, even from my side, being neutral wasn't even approached with civility for people to understand. Like, it's like people just don't get that on the other side of these metrics are real human beings with different emotions and issues all over the globe. And in order for Drip to grow, it's got to outgrow the current U.S. economy that it's pretty much locked into. So when you start stepping out of the U.S. bubble, I live in Cambodia, I can speak specifically from my experience, you will find very, very different opinions and approaches to finances, way of life, all sorts of stuff. So you can't just apply a one size fits all and say that these other people don't matter, because you're going to quickly outgrow your demographic in the US, especially if you're looking to see mass adoption. So I can look at my YouTube channel, look at the algorithms, I can see pockets of people from India, and I'm a small channel, so I have no idea what Jonathan sees, but I can see, yes, the bulk is from US, but I can see India, I can see Thailand, Vietnam. So I see that there are people looking for this content, and Forex has a huge vision to grow this stuff, right? And if it's going to grow, it is going to need the help of both sides. So I'm just trying to be the messenger in the middle. I'm the little guy without much sway in the community, so to speak, but I'm trying to be neutral, unbiased, and appreciate that there are two sides, and that's what helps any kind of project, sustainability, community. You must have both sides. So if you're familiar anything with marketing or launching a product or anything like that, you need both sides in order for your project to catch on and get to global adoption. I won't go into all that, but you can look it up on your own. So point being, guys, just if you're in the animal farm, you're in other communities, approach the whole thing with civility, grain of salt, and of course, look for people's content you resonate with, and don't be afraid to ask questions, and realize that if you're met with hostility, that's not just that person's not trying to be hostile, they've just been in for such a long time that it's kind of, they get tired of hearing the same questions to them, so they may react a different way. So again, try to just understand both sides of this curve and put yourself in both persons' shoes, and hopefully together we can reach some middle ground, and that this project will continue its uptrend. I'm still bullish on it. Of course, I haven't changed my perspective, and I do view this as a discount right now. I am still waiting on a reversal before I put my money where my mouth is for that reversal, and I don't even have much money. Most of it's already tied up. But I'd like to maybe buy 2 more drip or something like that, something small. So, but I'd like to see this go back up. So this has been a very long and negative downtrend over a month already now. So hopefully Forex's up and coming ideas will see this bounce off of support coming close to 53. We'll call $50 the bottom line for support. It's a little below the support line. It's like actually 53, 54. And we're right next to it. So something's got to happen or it will break support, and there's no other level of support besides like the 20s to 30s. So I think the community has to actually take matters into their own hands and can start spreading positivity, so to speak. Even if you're up here with where I'm at, where I got in somewhere around here, just made a month. So I've seen nothing but downward price action, but you can start to spread that positive vibe if you're in the chats. You can tell friends about it, like, hey, I got into this a month ago, and it's at a lot better price point than I got in at. This is the perfect opportunity, and together there might be an opportunity to rebound this, even if there's no legal or professional, what do you call that? Official announcement from Forex or the team or anything like that, if we have to wait. So if you want to see this rebound and start to make your profits back, I would say, join together as a community, get everybody on board. We don't need official announcements. The crypto market is supported by the community. I told you guys that about the Squid Game token. So if enough people decide, hey, we're not going to see this go down any further, and we're all going to get together and buy one drip ourselves. There's 88,000 members, and everybody buying one drip, whatever it is similar to what Jonathan said, but he said 15 people are buying 15 drip. I don't even think it has to be that. It could be half a fucking drip. It doesn't matter. If everybody decides on one day they're going to put whatever their available small capital is together, and they alone can push the price up. That happened to the GameStop. That's where the whole ape thing came from. If you're not familiar with what happened to the actual financial sector and stocks, a bunch of apes, people that didn't know anything about stocks, were able to just short a bunch of long investors and traders. So don't sleep on the power of community. So these 30,000 members that have seen nothing but negative price action, if they together decided, let's see, they wanted to buy one drip all on the same day, that would take a lot of working together. But let's just say it was at $50. That's $1.5 million being injected into the system. That's 30,000 drip tokens if every single one of these 30,000 people decided we're going to buy one drip token on one day. So 30,000 drip tokens, that's 3% of the supply, basically, right? So anyway, do with what you must. I'm not going to reach a large enough audience, but the few of you that do see this and understand what I'm talking about, hopefully you do your part, spread the word. Let's make this a community project like it's meant to be, and save your own investment. Tell your friends, family about the opportunity. Continue to spread the positive vibes about it, and be understanding, compassionate about others when they don't share your sentiment. Take it with a grain of salt. They're not attacking you. They're just attacking the pain points that they've heard over and over, I guess, is the way I choose to look at it. All right, guys, it's been long enough. I always make my videos too long. I'm trying to keep them concise, but I'm long-winded, so I apologize. Hope it brought you some value. If it did, like, subscribe, anything else, hit that thumbs up, whatever the case may be, and I'll see you in the next one. Lift daily, achieve your impossible. See you guys.